chances are this is going to be a long one. This is going to be a fairly long speech. I am going to do my best to give you the short version, but I am trying to summarise, call it a 4-hour conversation. The fact is, the title of this video, I've spoken to a professional editor, and this individual, they have stood out to me. There's no other way to word it other than I have actually spoken to a few editors over the course of doing YouTube. So we're talking, what, 2.5 years? And like I said, this is an individual who has stood out. And of course, I want to give credit where credit's due. So before I explain more, I just want to quickly say, if you are looking for advice on editing, or you know someone who's looking for advice on editing, there is a link in the description to Twitch or X or whatever the fuck it's called. And basically you can contact them on that. So of course, what makes this guy so special? Why does this one stand out from the rest? Now, to explain that, I do need to reflect back on basically something I had noticed as early as basically starting the channel. So we're talking going back 2.5 years. Now again, I am trying to give you the short version here, but I do have a lot to cover. So I think it was the 3rd message from me to you video that I uploaded, and it was, the main topic was the fact that this channel hit 1,000 views. And from a little bit of research, I was given the impression that the time frame that I had gained 1,000 views, the time frame that I gained 1,000 views, that was quite quick. So I was led to believe the growth of popularity for this channel was fairly quick. Now, saying how it is, we've got over 800 videos, and I'm confident we're going to hit 1,000 videos before even hitting 250 subscribers. So it's safe to say that I was misinformed back then, where I thought the growth of popularity for the channel back then was fairly quick. Turns out that's not the case. In fact, if anything, this channel is practically ignored. Now, obviously, I am not quoting, like, we're talking, if you check the comment sections, there are for majority of videos, especially, well, not majority, a huge portion at least. A huge portion of videos, there are several people explaining in their own words how they feel this channel is underrated, how they've expressed that this is their favourite YouTube channel, and basically that's just the tip of the iceberg. You've got people expressing both confusion as well as frustration that this channel does not get more attention. And the best way I can put it is, well, I'm doing my best, can't do more what I'm doing, so just have to accept it. But here's the thing, that confusion and frustration has now turned into concern, to the point where these individuals think that randomly I'm just going to stop uploading, because you might ask yourself, if you're putting in so much time into something and you're getting very little back, a lot of people will just give up. And I think there are quite a few people who think I'm just going to stop uploading. No matter how many times I say that's not going to happen, we can't deny the obvious. Me saying that is not going to stop you from thinking that. And let's face it, might as well be honest, I have basically explained it in a few messages from each of you videos, how there are times where things do get a little bit stressful. So, okay, yes, there has been times where the thought has gone through my mind, asking myself, is it all worth it? But when I calm down, I'm like, no, this is something that I want to do. And it's the reason why I've been doing it for so long. I enjoy making these videos, and I enjoy sharing them with you because I know you enjoy watching them. Granted, the channel doesn't get much attention, but the few of you who do watch, I do greatly appreciate it. So, saying how it is, going back to the 1,000 views like video or whatnot, around about that time I looked up online, like, I found out supposedly a view is only counted if it's at least 30 seconds long, and I'm going to be brutally honest with you, that pisses me off. And the reason why is because everywhere you look, Whether it's content creators on other platforms, content creators on YouTube, websites giving advice, all that stuff, Facebook, like Reddit, the list goes on. Everywhere you fucking look, a view is only counted if it's 30 seconds or more. That is fucking bullshit. Now, why does this bother me so much? Saying how it is, like I said, I've noticed this as early as like practically starting the channel. But I haven't really gone on about it because here's the bottom line. There's fuck all I can do about it, so there's no point stressing about it. Now okay, yeah, there was maybe a few weeks ago where I did have a bit of a rant because I'm getting a strong impression that YouTube is removing full length views, removing likes, removing dislikes, possibly removing subscribers, and it was genuinely pissing me off. So with that exception, I haven't really ranted that much about this issue, because as I've just said, there's nothing I can do about it. So when it comes to getting advice as to figuring out why is it that I am putting in all this effort into making this content, I'm only getting positive feedback. Those who watch it love it, but the channel is practically ignored. What am I doing wrong? So of course I'm going to seek for advice. So here's the thing. The way I am as a person, like, this is me personally, right? We're talking how my mind works. If you lie to me, if you lie and it's blatantly obvious that you're lying, I'm not going to stay quiet. I will call you out on it. So if I call you out for lying and you either deflect or ignore what I'm saying or pretend like the entire thing didn't happen, as far as I'm concerned, you're not worth trusting. I'm sorry, but my mind, like my logic is, you've literally just lied to my face. I've called you out on it. You're making it out that it's not a big deal. I can't take your word. That is basically the type of person I am. So the same goes for when it comes to whether it's basically, the same goes when it comes to like editors and whatnot. People who claim they know what they're talking about. And with constantly going on about the 30-second thing, when you have an editor who I've spoken to in the past, and I think I've spoken to about 3 or 4 prior to this, like prior to Mikey, prior to the one who I've given like a shout out to earlier in the video. Prior to Mikey, I spoke to about 3 or 4 editors, and I am not denying that they know their stuff. The fact is, they do know quite a lot. There's a lot of stuff that they claim, oh, this is a good idea, that's a bad idea, and I will agree with them on that. Don't get me wrong. And the bottom line is, I don't want to name call them because I don't, whereas I'm being fairly negative, 2 wrongs don't make a right. Because again, they do know their stuff, but I'm not going to pretend otherwise that some of the stuff they are saying is fucking bollocks. And what I'm referring to is the 30-second thing, where when they say 30 seconds, blah blah blah, and I'm like, hang on a minute, you're claiming a view is only counted if it's 30 seconds or more. What about this? And again, they ignore it or deflect, and because they basically lied about that, I can't trust their other advice. But one thing that they always do come up with is they talk about the intro, like videos with intros tend to do worse, and basically having a unique thumbnail per video. Saying how it is, regarding the thumbnails, yes, I do agree with that, but my argument for the longest time has been, I just don't have the time to make multiple thumbnails, because the thumbnails that you're used to seeing, if I'm lucky, they take me about an hour. So 5 episodes plus a compilation, that's 6 videos, 6 thumbnails, 1 hour quickly turns to 6. I don't have the time to do that. That has been my argument for that topic. But when it comes to intros, now here's the thing, actually before I go to the intros, going back to the thumbnails, I would like to point out, when I've given that reason, these editors who I've spoken to, okay, fair enough, they don't say more about it. And regarding the intros, I'm like, okay, so that's fair enough. You're saying according to statistics, videos do better without intros. Okay. But what about this YouTube channel? What about this video? What about that? Giving them examples, again, just either ignoring it or deflecting. So For the longest time I thought, sod it, I'm doing it the way I want to do it. And the best way I can put it is this. So I met this Mikey fella through Panch, and basically it was kind of funny because the way the conversation was, it was all three of us, and Panch was like, right, Mikey has had a quick look and he's got some advice. Immediately I felt anxious, and of course he started talking about the thumbnails and he started talking about the intros. But here is the bottom line. Whereas I have had a reason for the thumbnails, and whereas I have had, arguably reason to believe that the intros is having them there, that's opinionated. The point is, what Mikey did differently is he explained things. When I had a question, he answered them to the best of his ability. And like I said, he explained things and even gave examples. And one good example is regarding the thumbnails. As I was basically what I've just said then, as I'm explaining this to him, obviously in greater detail, he sends me a picture and he was saying this is what he would do for part 1 of Five Nights at Freddy's 4. And I said to him, how long did it take you to make that? And he said, didn't take that long, I just made it then. Okay, fair enough. That's fairly impressive because it was undeniable that what he made in a matter of minutes, what I made took me about an hour and a half. And it was undeniable what he created was far more eye-catching. That's the thing. That's when it clicked. That's when it clicked that whereas not just editors but other people saying having unique thumbnails per video, that is where it clicked, because every single time I've given the reason of it takes me so many minutes, so many hours doing whatever, I don't have the time to do more, people tend to not really follow up with an answer with that. So of course, when you've got Mike who basically spells it out to me, he didn't say this, but with that conversation, with that thumbnail he made, I am putting too much into the thumbnails I'm creating. I'm meant to be making them eye-catching, and I'm sat there trying to mess around with lighting, trying to make the background merge with the foregrounds. So I'm doing too much. So I was like, okay, fair enough. But I want to quickly point out something. The main thing that made him jump out that this is someone who knows this is someone who knows what he's talking about. Obviously, the first thing I called him out on was the 30-second thing, with 30 seconds, like views that are less than 30 seconds apparently not getting counted. To my surprise, he is the first person I've spoken to who's actually said, yeah, I don't know why people say that because that's not right. That's just a lie. That's when I knew. This is someone who's not going to bullshit me. This is someone who actually knows his stuff. He's not just going to give me textbook answers. So again, when it came to the thumbnails, when it came to the intros, and again, I've been ranting on long enough. So the bottom line is, with everything that I discussed with him over the course of 4 hours, we're talking he answered them to the best of his ability. And let's face it, people, I am one stubborn fuck. And yet he convinced me. That says a lot. So here's the bottom line when it comes to what you can expect. Starting Monday, I'm going to be no longer having an intro. So when it comes to the compilations, it's just going to jump to the first clip. But I'm going to be a little bit creative when it comes to the typical videos, like basically showing something that's worth seeing as a quick clip and then going to the start of the video. So technically you could say there's going to be an intro, but it's going to be completely different to what we're used to. But of course, regarding the thumbnails, they are going to be unique. And as you're watching this, saying how it is, I am actually going to go back and change the thumbnails for the videos that are already on the channel. Because here's the thing, even I don't like when you look at the video tab and you see the same thumbnail. I don't like that. But where it's jumping out at me is when you go on the playlist tab. And we're talking, I think the latest one is the latest compilation playlist, and the Glear 2 playlist. How the face of those playlists are the same thumbnail. I don't like that, because I think, what was it? We've got, I think, is it 12? 11 or 12 playlists of compilations, and 5 of them have thumbnails equal the same as other playlists. And I don't like the look of it. I want it to look like there's more variety, because at the end of the day there is. So it's going to take me a very long time to sort out all these thumbnails, but I'm up for the challenge. Hell, while you're watching this video, one thing I do know is I'm going to be busy trying to make thumbnails. So of course I am going to be focusing on the more popular playthrough. Well, I'm going to be focusing on the recent playthroughs, such as, Glear 2, since that's making a return. I'm going to be focusing on that. Outlast 2, Five Nights at Freddy's 4, I'm going to be replacing that before anything else. But then once I've done those 3, I am going to be focusing on the more popular playthroughs, and I'm working down to the less popular ones. But fuck it, I might as well say, you've got games like Condemned. That is a title that deserves more attention, so I might prioritise that over others, because I do believe that is one that's worth seeing. And saying how it is, if these thumbnails, they might not make a difference, the ones for the videos already uploaded, I mean, changing the thumbnails for the videos already uploaded might not make a difference, but at the end of the day, it makes the thing look prettier, so I want to get it done. But if it does make a difference, then that's a bonus. So, yeah, fucking Christ, 17 fucking minutes I've been ranting. Yeah, so here's the bottom line. When it comes to the intros, I don't like the fact I have to get rid of them, if I'm being honest with you, because I felt as if it was making the channel more unique. But then I have accepted the reality that that could be doing more harm than good. When it comes to the thumbnails, whereas I am proud of the thumbnails that I have created, the fact is I need more variety for those thumbnails, so I'm going to have to accept that they need to be changed. And like I said, I've been wanting unique thumbnails for each video for a while. I'm going to be fairly fucking busy, so to wrap up this video one last time, this is an individual who actually knows what he's talking about. This is, like I said, prior to Mikey, 3 or 4 editors that I'd spoken to, and I'm not denying that they know their stuff, but they do, or they have, basically spouted bullshit, and I don't like that, and I can't trust them because they've done that. So of course Mikey comes along, and there's just no bullshit. He's just honest with me from the very first words, from the very first time speaking to him. He was honest with me. And he explained things in great detail. He knows his stuff. So credit where it's due. Hopefully the channel will start getting the attention it deserves Monday onwards. Really hope that's the case, because at the end of the day, with how little attention this channel gets, could it be any worse? Because one thing's for sure, I'm still going to be uploading. The content's going to be the same, just without an intro. And of course, the thumbnails are going to be different. So, yeah, I'm ranting on too much. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you have, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.
Like and subscribe.